All right, if you're working with React Native, you know the drill, right? The pressure is always on to build faster, build smarter. Well, a whole new wave of AI tools is here, and it's completely rewriting the rules. And I'm not talking about little tiny tweaks. This is a massive productivity boom. We've actually got the numbers to back it up.
Okay, let's just start with a number. 45%. Let that sink in for a second. So what is that? That's how much boiler code is just gone. You know, all that repetitive foundational stuff you have to write over and over again. Imagine nearly half of that tedious work just disappearing, vanishing.
All right, next up, 30%.
And this one's all about speed. We're talking about getting new features from an idea all the way into your user's hands, almost a third faster. I mean, in the world we're in today, that is a total game changer.
And one more for you, 40%.
Now, this number is a little different. It's not just about speed, it's about quality. We're seeing a 40% jump in how efficient code reviews are. Why? Because AI is helping teams write cleaner, more consistent code right from the get-go. Okay, beyond just the raw numbers, there's this huge quality of life improvement. And if you're a dev, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Constantly jumping from your code editor to a browser with a million documentation tabs open, it just kills your focus. Well, AI is getting rid of that. It's bringing the answers right to you, inside your editor.
So all of this sounds pretty incredible, doesn't it? The big question is, how? How are developers actually pulling off these kinds of gains? What are the tools that are making it all happen? Well, it really boils down to three main categories of AI tools. You can kind of think of them as different levels of how deep the AI goes. We've got AI pair programmers, then we level up to whole AI-first IDEs, and finally, we've got ways to supercharge the code editors you're already familiar with. Okay, this table right here, this is where it all comes together. It connects the dots, right? You can see each tool category from things like GitHub Copilot to Cursor, and you can see exactly which productivity gain it's responsible for. So let's dive in and break this down one by one. We'll start at the top with AI pair programming. All right, first up, the AI pair programmer. The best way to think about this is like having a super smart coding partner sitting right next to you 24/7. It's there to help with auto-completing your code, answering your questions on the fly, and even helping you refactor and clean things up. So the key thing to get here is that tools like GitHub Copilot and Claude Dev are absolutely laser-focused on that first big number we talked about. Their number one job is to just demolish boilerplate code, and that's exactly why they're behind that huge 25 to 45% drop and having to write it all by hand. Okay, we take a pretty big leap forward. This next category is what we're calling AI-first IDEs. We're not just talking about plugins anymore. These are whole development environments that have been built from the ground up, with AI baked into their very core. So what's the big deal with these? Well, tools like Cursor and Windsurf don't just see the one file you're working on. They understand your entire project. They have the full context. That means you can give them really complex, multi-file commands, like, hey, go and refactor our entire login system, and they can actually do it. And that is how we get that 30% boost in delivering features faster. And for our third category, we're not talking about throwing out your favorite tools. Instead, this is all about making the code editor you already use and love way, way smarter. It's about enhancing it with some really powerful, specialized AI. The secret sauce here is something called custom instructions. Think about it like this. You can literally teach the AI the unique rules of your project, your specific coding style, your architecture, all of it. What you end up with is a custom-tailored AI assistant that knows how to write code the right way for your team right from the start. That's what leads directly to that incredible 40% improvement in code review efficiency. You know, when you see these numbers stacked up against each other like this on a chart, it really hits home. The scale of this is huge. These aren't just small, incremental improvements. We're talking about major, tangible gains across the entire way we build software. So what's the big takeaway here? It's really simple. AI is no longer just a cool little assistant or a gadget for early adopters. It's become a core, fundamental part of the modern development workflow. It's making the shift from a nice-to-have helper to an absolutely essential partner in building software. And that's why we're calling this whole phenomenon the AI productivity boom. It's what happens when you strategically combine these tools, the pair programmers, the AI-first IDEs, and the enhanced extensions. You create a workflow that is just fundamentally faster, smarter, and way more efficient than anything we had before. Which, really just leaves us with one last thought. We've looked at the data, we've seen the tools that are making all this happen. So the only real question left is for you. How are you going to use this stuff to accelerate your workflow?